I need a nice girl to go on. I man, gotta make moves. I need the right girl if it goes wrong. The game plan got all growth. I'ma hold up you if you hold down. From the streets to the sky to the moon. I'ma hold up you if you hold down. To me, 'cause I wanna hold on, darling, lovingly. I wanna hold all night, but when you close to me, she wanna hold on me. I wanna hold my queen. I wanna hold on, darling, lovingly. I wanna hold on and X all your dreams. Is it a go? On and X everything. You get the night that you want. You get the light that you need. Just gotta hold on to me like I do with you. 'Cause I wanna hold on, darling, lovingly. I wanna hold all night, but when you're close to me, she wanna hold on me. I wanna hold my queen. I wanna hold on, darling, lovingly. I wanna hold. And what you hold inside is so right. And when you hold me tight, and when you hold me tight, and when you know it's right, and what you hold inside goes so right. 'Cause I wanna hold queen, yeah. She wanna know, is it me, yeah. 'Cause I wanna hold every thought and every dream. And she wanna know, is it real? 'Cause I wanna hold on, darling, lovingly. I wanna hold all night, but when you're close to me, she wanna hold on me. I wanna hold my queen. I wanna hold on, darling, lovingly. I wanna hold up on me, 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 lovingly. 'Cause I wanna hold.
Token Metrics is a cryptocurrency investment platform that helps users leverage machine learning to become better crypto investors. Our in-depth analysis helps eliminate the emotions of investing, find profitable investment opportunities, and filters out scams. Learn more at tokenmetrics.com. Disclaimer. Token Metrics Media LLC does not provide individually tailored investment advice and does not take a subscriber's or anyone's personal circumstance into consideration when discussing investments. Nor is it registered as an investment advisor or broker-dealer in any jurisdiction. Information contained herein is not an offer or solicitation to buy, hold, or sell any security. The Token Metrics team has advised and invested in many blockchain companies. A complete list of their advisory roles and current holdings can be viewed here at tokenmetrics.com/disclosures.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. Today, we have the pleasure of having Haseeb Aswan join us. Haseeb, how are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Good. So, this is a topic that's very dear to my heart because most people know that I myself have also been hacked. And I think this is something that's really prominent in the crypto space when it comes to security and really just making sure your money is safe. So, I discovered your company, Efani, actually on Twitter. So, you saved Charlie Shrem from a SIM swap hack. And this happened in real time, I think in about 24 hours. And when that happened, I said, wow, I have to check out this company. So it's a pleasure to have you on the show. Welcome.
Thank you. Yeah. So what happened, we have been I even got a call at 1:00 last night and someone was actually in a problem. So we do get a lot of those late night calls. Charlie is the one who actually called, talk on the Twitter. So that's why people discovered him. Mm-hmm. But we have been saving people almost every night. Because right now, every traditional system is collapsed. You can't get hold of anyone on your company that you have. So, and crimes are increasing right now. So in his case, he got hacked actually. And he had everything set up, two-factor, every possible security that you can put on your connection, he had it. But yeah, long story short is that he still got hacked. And I think around 1:00 or midnight, he messaged me So within 5 minutes, we were able to get his number back from the hacker.
Yeah, I mean, because I found that really incredible because all these big carriers, AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, they all have issues when it comes to protecting crypto customers.
Yeah.
Now, and yet you and your phone company were able to do it just like that. So can you kind of walk us through the problem, really?
Yeah, so the problem is right now. So if you think about your like social security number, like if I ask you, Ian, can I have your social security number? You'll say like, what the hell? I don't want to give you my social security number. But if I ask you your telephone number, the only fear you may have is that this person would not spam me, right? But apart from that, you don't have fear. But I'll give you an example. Your telephone number is more important than social security number right now. And the reason for that is because social security number, you can actually track something like you can have a credit report. But with telephone number, you can, if I have your telephone number, I can know where you live, okay? I can know who you live with is, so your family members, everyone in your family who have on this address. I can get into your call log. I can get your SMS log. I can get into your live location, where are you right now? And I can also see your past history or where you have been. And through all of that connection, I can also establish your Twitter account, your Facebook account, and also find out, like maybe your criminal history and pretty much everything. Like, it opens like all those dots get connected to telephone number. Because you may have, Ian, there may be like Ian Bilana, like, there may be like 20 of them in the country, but only one person with a telephone number.
Very true. Very true. Okay, interesting. I mean, so go ahead.
Yeah, so SIM hacking is like one of the things, but people are doing a lot of things that behind the scenes without even hacking you. Like you would not even know what's happening on your background. They're just monitoring you, they're tracking you, and they attack you when you're most vulnerable.
So basically, they're just stalking you and just waiting for the perfect time.
Yeah, so what they do is basically, so they buy this data. So a lot of companies, like right now, their business model is pretty different. Like, your big companies, they make money by two things. Number one, they make money by making, obviously you pay them the plan, but the second thing is they make money by selling you out. So if you go to Verizon and you say, hey, give me Ian number, they will give all the information. And I discovered this from my Bitcoin ATM network when we were running Bitcoin. So we used to do KYC on customer. And when we do KYC on customer is that you give the telephone number to tell you then when the number was purchased, where the number belonged to, everything comes from the telephone number. And that's public information right now. So think about someone who actually is only goal to, like to hack you or spam you. It's kind of scary.
Yeah.
But big companies don't work about it. Like, they focus on like selling you cheaper plan. That's their goal.
Okay, awesome. So now, for people who maybe don't know your company, kind of tell us what Efani does.
Yeah, so basically think about us like a AT&T but secured, or Verizon not secured. We do everything that they do, but we have a secured service. So, or you buy like a Rolls Royce and then we wrap it with a bulletproof car. That's feel like bulletproof. That's the easiest way to do it, right? So we take the best network and then we put all the securities on top, so you can never be SIM hacked. Your number will be encrypted, and we have a $5 million insurance on top. So three things: we don't sell you on, hey, we are the cheapest one. We are actually not the cheapest one. We don't optimize for selling you the best cell phone. We just say buy your own cell phone. We do only one thing: security and privacy. That's all we do. So what we say is that we will guarantee that your call log will be protected. No one will know who you spoke to last night. Your number will never get hacked, and everything is backed by $5 million insurance. That's all we do. And obviously on the network, we run on the best network in the US.
Okay, now let's kind of delve into that, because that's something that really jumped out at me, is you're willing to put insurance on your phone plans, right? So
yeah.
On your customers. So if somebody gets hacked because of errors on your behalf, that person has insurance up to $5 million, correct?
That's correct, 100% correct.
Okay, so can you kind of break down what that entails? Is there any red tape, any fine print?
No, the only fine print is like, we basically, it has to be done due to our negligence, like, like I'll give example, like imagine you go out and you go on dark web and you try to say, hey, I want to give out my telephone number and the people can come to your house, like something like that, right? So if the number information got leaked through us or you got SIM hacked, then yes, there's no red tape. It's clean forward. Like it's like LifeLock. It's very super clean. But no, there's no other red tape. There's no if, buts, and then. But obviously, if you say, hey, man, I had money in my exchange, and but yeah, if it came through your telephone number, your number gets swapped, you're covered.
Okay, so basically, it's only when the issue is the company's fault. So if somebody else is really not doing safe security or doing something that isn't really proper, then that's not something
Yeah.
that is covered. Okay.
100%. Like we cover a specific thing, which is like, ensure, like it has to be our fault, right? Like it's not that you lost money in a margin trade on exchange and you say, hey, our exchange got shut down, right? But we still don't recommend anyone using the cell phone, frankly, for the security. Like, people should have, like if someone hacked into your account, right? That's not our problem. Like I won't say this is not a problem, but that's what we do. But long story short is that we don't cover like other issues, but any issue that is like linked to us, that we cover it.
Okay. Very interesting. Very interesting. Now, can you kind of tell us what? So, do you focus purely on crypto, or do you focus on lots of other industries? And
No, actually, I think only 10% of our customers are crypto. Frankly, only 10%. 90% of people, ordinary people, like lawyers, accountant, like agents, high net worth individual, and like people who just want to care about security. So I made it for crypto people, frankly, but I realized that people in crypto are not the best target market. And frankly, if someone have their coins on exchange, I keep like not your keys, not your coins. So I'm a very anti kind of exchange, even though I use exchange all the time. But at the same time, you should not have SMS authentication, regardless if you use us or not. So yeah, but because think about it, like why someone should know your telephone number, right? Like why someone should know your address, right? Why should someone should have access to your call log? Why someone can have access to where you have been traveling or your family's traveling? I think this is a very risky. Your Facebook information. This all information is linked to your telephone number or your financial institution. So people actually lose money a lot through non-crypto ways too.
Okay. Now, so where can somebody who's maybe not so security conscious or tech savvy, what's the first place they should begin when it comes to improving the security and the OPSEC around blockchain and crypto?
So around blockchain and security, like that's a pretty wide topic. Like so I don't know if your audience know, but I made the first Bitcoin ATM 7 years ago, and that's how I got in crypto. So I know I've been like people in crypto are generally so security overall is like there's no right and wrong answer. Like it's not a binary. You cannot be absolutely secure. You can do everything in the world. You can still get hacked. So if you're asking about personal security, there are two things. One is crypto security, one is personal security, right? So if you talk about like crypto security, never use an exchange, right? Or never keep your money on the exchange, even though I do it sometimes too. So I'm one of the person who is at fault here. I do it. But if your question is about like personal security, so number one thing is like, you should not have a family plan. I know a lot of people have us, but you should not have it because the problem is you're putting other people on the risk too. So when you give your telephone number, not just you're attacked, but other people who are linked to you are also getting attacked too. And frankly, I have seen a lot of cases where like, daughter, like, someone's spouse or someone in the family who was a victim because they were trying to attack the main person, but they tried to connect with someone who's more vulnerable in the family. So I talk about like, if you go to a dangerous place, would you take your entire family with you or you go by yourself? So that's the analogy I make here. But from the security point of view, like, don't cheap out on these little small things. Telephone number is super important. Obviously, I'm biased because obviously I run a service with security, but have multiple, like, don't give out your telephone number to everyone. Use VPN. Like, don't go to like stupid websites and try to clean up your computer once in a while.
Okay, now, I mean, so the part about people with family plans, I think it kind of comes from people, maybe they were kids and maybe after they began working from college, they kind of stayed on the family plan because either it was free or was very, very cheap, right?
Yeah. Well, they can live with their family. That's why we move out from their family parents' house too, right? Like, we want to have our independence. But we still keep on that. I'm just saying that this is a risk sector. Now, people do stay to have their risk sector. and they say, hey, I'm okay with taking that risk. But frankly, like right now, you'll be scared as hell. You can go to any neighborhood, like you can pick up like a top zip codes on US, and you can find out everyone's telephone number, right? And through that, you can find out who the person spoke to. And this all is information on available on dark web. So yes, they did it, but that's not an excuse, right? Like that's the thing, you left your coin on Mount Gox. No one will come save you.
Yeah, it's very true. Now, so for me, during my hack back in 2018, so when our team was kind of doing research, one of the things that really kind of concerned us as we learned more about the space in terms of hackers, sometimes they bribe the phone companies. So sometimes you can have perfect security and they just buy your information from for example, AT&T employee, where this actually happened. An employee was selling his login and credentials on the dark web, where hackers could then log in as him and access all the customer information.
That's actually true. That's like 90% of the cases that happen. So, like I'll give you an example. Like imagine if I want to be an AT&T employee or any other company employee, I can just walk into a store and say, I want to fill up an application. No background check, just fill up an application as you would get a job at any store. And next day you have record of every person.
Yeah. So, okay. So James is asking what the name of the company is again. The name is Efani, EFANI, formerly known as Port. So just go to efani.com. We've also partnered up with the company because obviously this is something that lots of people need in the crypto space, especially if you're thinking about getting a new phone. So just go to tokenmetrics.com/Efani to find the company via our affiliate link. That's tokenmetrics.com/Efani, EFANI. Okay. Now, so let's say somebody has an interest in switching over to Efani. What's the process like? Or maybe kind of walk us, how did you switch over Charlie Shrem?
So in Charlie Shrem, the case was like, so hacker already had taken control of it. So he was already like, his number was already gone. So it's like, think about it, like midnight, I think 1 o'clock or like midnight sometime. And I got a message like, hey, I got SIM swapped. And it's very difficult for you to understand, like actually someone who is So the thing with Charlie was Charlie wanted to switch like a few months ago, and then he was like saying, okay, let's delay it, right? Because people think that, hey man, nothing is going to happen to me. Like we have a false sense of security, which is even worse than having a security. We think that we are secured, and sometimes people think that, hey, I'm too ordinary person, no one can catch me, or no one can. I'm just fine. So in that case, I think it was like I said midnight. He messaged me, I got hacked and something. I said, okay, let's work on the solution. So I said, I don't promise it, but I'll try to get it back from your carrier. So I got some information and I was able to because we are like out of our own carrier too. So we were able to port his number from his hacker to my network within 2-3 minutes. And I told him, hey, you are safe. So what I did a call forwarding to his number. He got just a spare number. And he said, so this way he was getting all the calls. And I shipped him the SIM same day. He got a SIM card and now it's secure.
I mean,
but that's like a common practice for us. Like at least 2 or 3 cases like that happen every week.
Wow, incredible. I mean, because the fact that you did it so fast, in a moment where he felt helpless, right? You guys came in almost like a superhero and saved the day.
Yeah. Like I said, like we don't talk about a customer unless they talk about themselves, right? Like we have very high profile customers, and we some of them are like C-levels of very, very big companies. Some of them are cybersecurity companies. We cannot talk about them because we are in privacy business. But in Charlie Shrem case, he came out next day and he was saying, man, you saved my day. So he was kindly that he said, at that time, someone would be willing to pay any price. Like someone can say, hey, I'll pay you like $1,000 to save myself because I'm getting screwed right now. But we don't charge any money. Like you basically say, whatever the cost, that's what we take. We only have one pricing.
Okay. So walk us through the process of joining Efani. How can somebody switch over from Verizon, AT&T?
So if you want to upgrade to like a better service like ours, so what you do is basically we just go on Efani.com, put an order. Our website which is very funny. Our website doesn't work on mobile, which is like a shame, like if it's a mobile service, but we are just working on, because we get so much traffic in the last week that we had to switch our website, and we are still rebuilding our new website on mobile. But yeah, if we go to Efani.com, order a SIM card, we'll ship you a SIM card same day. You'll get it in 2-3 days. We switch your number, like upgrade your number to a secured SIM card, and that would be a SIM card from now onward. You don't have to pay your current carrier anymore. We just take over the billing. So if you have any monthly subscription with your current unsecured carrier, you don't have to pay them anymore.
Okay, so basically you take your number with you, everything pretty much stays the same. If you have infinite data or whatever plan you have, the same plan can happen.
But we only have one plan, frankly. Like we don't have, I said, we don't optimize for like selling you cheap plans. And frankly, we are not for everyone. We are only focused on the top executives, like, people who are important and who can pay for it. So we only have one plan, $99 unlimited call, data, and text across North America.
Okay.
We don't upsell you. We don't downsell you. That's all we have.
Now, how about international calling?
International calling, like frankly, like we don't have international calling right now. We are including our roaming, hopefully in a month or two, where you can roam it globally for like $25 per month, unlimited call, data, text, same plan.
So $25 extra on top of that?
Yeah, like if you have to travel across the world. But this would be like one plan. Like, there's no daily plan, only one plan, $95 unlimited call, data, text across the world.
Okay.
But right now it's $99 per month for like, unlimited call, data, and text.
Okay, now what about, let's say somebody changes over, is there any kind of guarantee or warranty policy?
So we basically have a 60 days refund policy. So if you don't like it within 60 days and you want to go back to your unsecured phone, we can just switch you back for free. So you don't have, so we'll refund you all the money. So if, imagine you try to say, hey, I want to move to a secured phone today, and you move it over, and within 50 days, 60 days, for any reason, you say, I want to go back to my unsecured service, we will switch you back and refund you all the money.
Okay, so let's take a question here from the audience. So Samir is saying, is this only for US? Can we port Canadian numbers?
So unfortunately, no, right now. I'm also Canadian, so for a lot of audience, I didn't know. But yeah, no, unfortunately, we cannot do Canadian number right now. You can roam in Canada for free on a US number, but we don't have ability to onboard Canadian numbers just because of regulations and everything.
Okay, then James is asking, what about eSIMs? Are they safer?
No, it's actually the same thing. So technology thing. So no, it makes no difference if it's an eSIM or regular SIM.
Hold on. So can you kind of explain an eSIM for people that might not know?
Yeah. So eSIM is electronic SIM. It acts 100% the same way as regular SIM works. But like the easiest part about eSIM is you don't have to put a SIM card in your phone. So your SIM card actually have a configuration, right? So an easy word, rather than having the configuration physically put in, it's on the cloud. So an easy example would be like using a flash drive versus like hosting in the cloud, right? So you don't have to carry a SIM card anymore. So every phone, new SIM phones have like a small piece which is programmable, and you can program it. So if you want to switch from like Verizon to T-Mobile or T-Mobile to Verizon or AT&T, whatever you want to go, you just have to download the configuration and the SIM card will upgrade itself. So that's the new technology that's coming along. That's coming on right now.
Okay, now how do you compare it to maybe online texting apps?
So these are different things. So the thing is, so texting apps are like mostly VoIP. So what happens is they don't connect to the local towers, which means that if you're out in the street, you don't get in. You can only connect when you have data, either through probably through Wi-Fi calling. That's how you can connect them. So if you're out in the street and there's no data, it would not work. Right, so that's one thing. Second thing is a lot of companies don't accept VoIP numbers. So if you go on like something, they will not accept a VoIP. Like Wells Fargo, I believe, doesn't accept it. So they're like other companies that doesn't accept online VoIP number. And also inconvenience. Like people are very convenient with like SMS and texting. So it's just convenience thing. Like, yes, you can do a lot of things. You can basically sit at home and not go outside, and you'll never get killed. Maybe not, don't get caught. But the point is, our goal is to make sure that you are safe in the current setting, and you don't have to go. You don't have a lot of learning curve.
Okay, now Victor is asking, is there a data charge? No, it's a flat fee, correct?
Yeah, this flat fee, like unlimited call, data, text, unlimited. There's only one plan. Like I said, we don't have anything. Once we have international roaming, we may start charging $25 if you roam abroad. But even in that case, it will be one fee. We don't want to optimize, hey, you have to spend this much minute. No, one thing, simple.
Okay, so now let's talk about the 11 layers of security you have.
Sure.
Because I think that's something that's really crucial, because most phone companies don't even have much.
No, so they don't have anything, right? So think about it. So I built it for myself, and the reason for Don't Port was I made a joke, and I'll tell you a story behind it. So when I was crypto, I knew that I'll get SIM hacked. Frankly, I knew that. So I went with a very unique carrier and I said, okay, there's no way they can hack this carrier. And I told them my number will get hacked, so protect this number, never port this number. So I set up my email as like don't port at mydomain.com, right? And they said I said, of course, and I got an email on the same time, do not port at mydomain.com. Your number has been ported, right? So I made a joke of it, and I registered a domain called don'tport.com. And I set up a company that, hey, someone asked, what do you do? We are don't port, that's all we do. And so I started a company as a fun company. It was like more like a joke, because I wanted to protect myself, and I wanted to show that how I want to have a bragging rights that I can tell my number to everyone and not have to, sleep with the worry that, hey, I'll get hacked. So after that, we realized that how big the problem is, not just SIM swapping, but like your privacy is a big issue too. And a lot of criminals are actually using that to attack you when you're the most vulnerable person at that time. Like you may leave your house and someone will know, okay, I want to break into the house, and this person is just out, so you'll get a notification and you can just go into this house, right? And there were very high profile crimes, unfortunately I can't talk about it, which involved this SIM privacy. So coming back to the point of 11th level security. So when you start out, we wanted to, so what's the biggest factor? Whenever you hack someone, you just bribe one person and it's all done, right? So what we did was, think about multi-signature wallet, right? You have to collude with multiple vectors of the company, plus you have to go to our lawyer, our people, me, a couple of other people. They all have to approve on, reach on consensus that this number has to be swapped. And before we do that, we go through a multiple level of authentication. So I'll give you an example. We may send you a letter to your house and say, hey, you have to sign it. And this way we confirm that, hey, you got this letter in your mail, you signed it and you send it back. We send you a text message before, hey, do you want to switch number? And then you say, hey, yes, I want to switch the number. We send you an email, right? Then we have a layer. So we basically go through minimum of 11 layer of process for anyone to get into that. So which means that if any of those processes fail, your number porting will not happen and no one can break into the system. So even if you are trying to hack one part, you cannot get into the second part because they're linked in a different way.
Okay. Now, why can't phone carriers just copy the same thing?
They can. So frankly, I'm not saying they can. It's number one thing is like asking, why doesn't Chase Bank allow Bitcoin trading? They can, but the thing is it all depends on they may think the market is too small, or why doesn't Rolls-Royce make all bulletproof cars? People who buy Rolls-Royce are important people, but they don't make it because frankly there's a different market segment. So our focus is keeping it very, very unique. Or why doesn't everyone have a clear, or why doesn't everyone should have a TSA pre, right? You have to upgrade a specific people. So they can, but it's just that it may not make a business sense for them to protect you. That the cost of protection is very high.
Yeah. Okay. So plus also just the time, right?
Yeah, it's time. And right now, imagine you want to go through an ordinary person, what an ordinary person looking for. Hey, where do I get a cheap phone? That's the one thing that you go for a cell phone. Hey, what's my best plan? What's the lowest I can pay? and the company, there's a trade-off, right? You say, hey, I'm trading my freedom or trading my privacy for something getting cheaper, so I become a product myself. So so the question what I have is, it's not a business case for them. They are not interested in, because they want to sell you more plans. And even if you leave them, it doesn't bother them. Like it's your problem if you get hacked.
They're basically playing a numbers game now.
Yeah.
Okay, so Michael Turpin, who's actually going to be on the show on Friday.
Nice.
So he's suing AT&T, right?
Yeah.
Because he was hacked. I think he lost $26 million, something like that, right?
Yeah.
A ton of money. So do you think lawsuits like this, or even class action lawsuits, would pressure carriers to change? Or do you think they'll just stay the same?
I think it will stay the same, because the thing is, like, carrier, we don't read terms of services, right? Like, exactly, we don't read. How many times have you actually read any term of service? Like, tell me. Have you read your bank account when you bought your credit card? Have you looked at, right?
No.
So actually, it states that a lot of times they will sell your information, right? They will sell you data, right?
Okay, but what if an employee gets bribed on the dark web and sells your data? That's part of the terms of service, you're saying?
That's maybe like E&O insurance, right? Like, they may give you the number back, but so I'll give you a very simple analogy about, like, United Airlines. You get on a plane, and one of the pilot mistakes, the plane didn't took off, right? And you missed a deal in New York. Okay. Like you had $1 billion deal, and then you lost the deal because you could not fly in time. Would you sue United Airlines for $1 billion?
Probably not. I mean, otherwise everybody would just be, would just make them broke.
so that's the question, right? So that's my analogy around this case. But obviously, I want Michael Turpin to win, and he's a good friend of mine. Yeah. But this is my analogy around this case, right? I think the company should take our privacy seriously, but, like, frankly, a lot of people don't. People themselves don't take them seriously. So I don't know if airlines will, like, even companies will care. Okay. So this is a problem right now. Like, we don't care a lot about liberty and privacy. So as I said, I wish him all the well, and I hope that he wins. But certainly if I had like $24 million of a stake, I would sue them too. But 95% of cases, like, people don't even report. They just move on with their life.
Okay, so next question from Victor. He's asking, can he watch Netflix on the SIM card?
Well, you can do everything, right? Certainly you can, but we don't recommend that you should start like tethering and like clog the network.
So maybe a more broader question is, what's the speed of the network? Is it 4G? Is 5G coming down the line?
Yeah, 5G. Basically, so we run on due to some reason we can't take the name, but think about the best network in US, right? We run on that network, and it's unlimited data. So yes, you can watch Netflix and everything, but this should not be the goal that, hey, it's unlimited data. We should do, like, our focus is security.
Okay, now, so does that mean the carrier you have, it can work with other carriers, or is it piggybacking off of them? So how does that work?
So we work with every carrier. Like, we have a contract with all the 4 major carriers. The problem is, like, because of, like, keeping it simple, we are just sticking to the best network. So, like, I'll give you an example. If you want to go to Sprint, like, people who go to Sprint or T-Mobile are generally there for price. It's the cheaper plan, right? But they don't work everywhere.
Yeah.
You have connection issues. You have multiple issues. So our target audience is generally not price conscious. They're like people who are the higher tier. So we just work with them on the top carrier. And the hint is it will start with a V.
Now, okay, so, I mean, can people choose which carrier they go to? So, for example, in different regions, different carriers are better. So, like, Verizon might be better in California, and Sprint might be better in Kansas. AT&T might be better in New York, New Jersey, right? So they have the option to choose which carrier.
Yeah, you can basically work with any carrier. Like, we prefer one carrier, but if you want to go for the worst carrier, it's possible. But what we offer is we also have a Wi-Fi calling feature, which means that even if you are like in a basement of your house where no signal comes in, or you're in an office and you have Wi-Fi, you can make calls to Wi-Fi, and you wouldn't have the same experience. So that's the best part. Because like few houses have like a spotty locations, but generally, like our career has been like so far good. But if you say, hey, I want to move to Sprint, we can keep you on Sprint.
Now, honestly, I mean, I feel like phone carriers should just be disrupted, because I mean, they got disrupted with texting, right? With WhatsApp, Telegram, all these different apps. But I feel like even phones, they haven't yet fully been disrupted. Yes, we have Skype and Zoom and all that stuff, but I was doing Wi-Fi calling with my family abroad, and I thought it was free because I was like, we're both on Wi-Fi calling, but the phone companies still charge us for that. They charge us international rates, even though we had our phones in airplane mode doing Wi-Fi calling, and I was like, this is ridiculous.
I know. The thing is, the problem with the career is like it's a very, very, very tough industry. Frankly, like I'll tell you example. It's not a cheap industry to begin with, to work with. That's why we didn't optimize for pricing. We just said this is what we offer. If someone wants to take it, it's either take it or leave it. So we need phone, right? It's the cost of phone. You have to pay like $1,000, $2,000 for the phone, and that's how companies lock you in. Carriers need to be disrupted, but the problem is like, infrastructure setup cost is so high that we have only 3 carriers in US now, because T-Mobile and Sprint merged. So AT&T, T-Mobile, and AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon. There's no fourth carrier. There is like a smaller carriers, but like bigger one, there are only 3 carriers.
Wait, so Sprint and T-Mobile has been approved? The merger was approved?
Yeah, they approved. So on the 1st April, so there's 1 carrier. There's no Sprint doesn't exist anymore.
So that happened this week, this month?
Yeah, on the 1st of April.
Oh wow, unbelievable! I had no idea.
So basically, it's only 3 companies now in US.
Wow. So eventually, it's gonna be just like the old days with AT&T or Bell, right? Atlantic Bell was the company.
I don't know Bell. Like I moved from Canada, but we have Bell in Canada. But that's pretty much what's happening. So I think the industry will evolve. You will have better products, but it's such a commodity based industry. We don't have any what do you differentiate on? I'll give you the cheapest plan. Hey, Ian, come here. Someone will say, hey, John is giving you plan for $20. Okay, I'll give you $15. You come to me, and then someone else will come and say, I'll sell at $10. So they have to monetize you. So the way they start monetizing you is by selling you out. So they will come to, hey, if you are walking down, because they're monitoring you, they have access to where you're moving and everything. So they can start sending you more personalized information, personalized data. If you text someone on WhatsApp, I'll give you an example, WhatsApp is encrypted, but trust me, if you find a contact on WhatsApp and you add him, maybe in an hour or 2, or maybe in a day, it will appear on your Facebook suggestions. If it's encrypted, how do they get hold of you?
They share so much data, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, so all of these things come along. So again, it all comes down to individual securities, and a lot of us we don't care about security. Americans are the number 1 victim of cyber crimes. I don't know if you know that. Every second, 3 Americans become a victim every second. But the reason is we don't talk about it. Sometimes we don't know it actually came to cybercrime. And other part is ransom and blackmailing around it is massive. So a lot of victims don't speak out because they are being threatened. If they speak out, they will basically sue them more.
Wow, that's crazy. That's insane.
Yeah, because the higher ROI, the best ROI to hack or attack someone is ordinary citizen of American, because we have one of the highest GDPs, and we are the most I will say vulnerable in the world. Anyone can sit anywhere in the world and just hack you.
Wow. I mean, they're definitely crazy times we're in. Okay, so somebody has a question here talking about blockchain phones. So I am from Twitter is saying, what about Siren Labs smartphone, which is a blockchain phone? Everything is, I believe, encrypted and anonymous. Same thing with Efani and Solarin.
Yes. So I think Siren Lab did. So my understanding of, I have not used the phone, but I heard that Siren Lab is they laid off half of their employees last month or something, before this coronavirus thing, right?
Yeah.
So I think so it's I think on April 21st they so the heading I typed it blockchain phone failed. That's what I hear. So they had 60 people, and they laid off majority of the people, and they are going through a $50 million lawsuit too. So the problem with the hardware is, so there's 2 things, right? So number 1 is you have security inside and you have security outside, right? So on the phone side, you can have all level of encryption, but on the telecom level, when you're actually making the call, it goes through a network. How do you secure it? Like I know, like those companies, I think they manage like they had like a token ICO days, and so they raised a lot of money. It's like sexy to have a, because at that time ICO days, like you put a blockchain on everything, it will sell. You can, hey, I have like a token for Uber, it will sell. So that's how they cashed on. Like, people are selling like, I have a cancer treatment. Like right now, every person is like going toward COVID. Like, we do this for COVID, we do this for COVID. So that time that happened. So I don't think so they ever lead or they actually bolded. Hardware business is really, really tough, very tough business. So I suspect if anyone will be successful in that business, because developing the hardware and going through the entire iOS process, building ecosystem is super tough. There's another company called like Blackphone. They started off, they failed. Or maybe like 5 or 10 companies that failed in this industry because hardware are tough. Like that's why it's called hardware. It's hard. So talking about a specific phone, I don't think so that like, phone is, I never used the phone, but again, changing a phone and changing the version is like difficult. It's a very difficult process. It's a learning curve and the cost, and then you have to update the phone. So I doubt if there's enough market for people to switch on such high phones. But certainly the founder would have made a lot of money.
Oh yeah, I mean they definitely made bank.
yeah. So it's just like any other token, like they cashed on. Yeah. So that's about it. Yeah, so I don't know how it works. Like, these are all like, we should have a mesh network. Like, people say, hey, we should have a mesh network of people talking to each other and like kind of a Tor browser where we route the traffic. Fundamentally, I'm a libertarian too, and I'm a telecom engineer. That's what I went to school for. I did engineering in telecom, studying telecom networks. Some things are possible and some things are not, right? Not because of technical reason, but because of logistics reasons. So like imagine you built a phone and then you have to push a new version every year, and the cost of development doesn't justify it.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. All right. So let's kind of in a way bring everything home and kind of bring everything to one framework. So if somebody wants to really improve their security on blockchain and crypto, especially crypto investors and traders, most carriers don't really protect them because they're either too big or don't have the time or bandwidth to even have multiple layers of security. And what Efani does is really create a niche, almost a boutique carrier that's compatible with whatever number you have, that lets you port it or migrate that same number over, but adds up to 11 layers of security, plus also comes with insurance for up to $5 million. So that if anything happens that's done by the company, customers are assured that, hey, their money or their phone number is safe.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's definitely a brilliant idea. I mean, I'm not sure why nobody has really done it yet. The fact that Charlie Shrem is a good case example, right? Him going through an actual SIM swap hack and you going through and changing the number and getting it back in less than 24 hours before his carrier could even open up business.
Yeah, we got it back within 5 minutes, like within I think, I don't remember that time, but imagine if like 12 o'clock, by 12:05 or 12:10, we had his number back within 5 minutes. And I don't know if you know that I've been a victim 4 times of SIM swap, and that's the only reason I built the company.
So let's talk about that. What was that like, being SIM swapped 4 times?
Man, first time I was very scared, right? Like I was kind of like, imagine, so I was sitting in an apartment and I don't think I could find any phone. And I think it's like 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the evening. And I just said, my phone stopped, because your phone doesn't ring every day, right? So, and you have Wi-Fi at home, so you don't even realize that, your phone is not working unless you have to make outbound call. And I'm sitting on a computer and I say, we are sorry to let you go. Right? Like, sorry to see you go on the email. And I said, what the hell is this? Right?
Oh, wow.
And so for a minute, I didn't realize it, like first time. right? Because I heard about this issue, like a lot of people heard about this issue, but they don't realize that, hey, like we have a false sense that, no, it's not going to happen to me, right? It's like a cancer. Like how many people could actually think that they can die because of cancer, but people do die because of cancer. So we don't know until it happens to us. So, but within a few minutes, I got it. So I called the carrier and they say, we can't do anything because the number has been switched to a different carrier. So now it doesn't belong to anymore. Like, we don't own the number. And secondly, how do we verify that you are not the right person? Right? What if you are the hacker? Right? So it's very difficult. So I think I rushed to the store and I called RCMP. I think it was in Canada because as I'm also in Canada. So I called them up and I said, if you don't get my number back in half an hour, I have a serious threat to my life. Right. And then they took it seriously. I said, if I died, right, or something happened to me, you're responsible. And tell me your name. Right. So that basically escalated like within 5 minutes. And I think within 1 hour or two, they were able to get my number back.
Oh, wow.
But before they were not even taken. But if this would have happened like even like half an hour after, or I would not be like very, very, I was like, the only thing I got saved was because I was watching my email at that time. But if I would have maybe slept by that time, at 5 o'clock had passed and there was no department there. And I would have to wait by next day. And he would have access, not just my crypto. Crypto is like one thing. But like think about getting into iCloud, like calling your bank account, like getting your personal information. Like we have heard cases where people can go on Uber, do a password reset and get your all travel history. You don't even realize like when they get into email, they have cron jobs, what they can do. And everyone have their own. The second time, like when it happened, I actually laughed at it. Like I said, oh my, not again. Right. But frankly, at the third time when it happened, I was very, very paranoid. Like I actually thought that I got scared of everything. I started watching my phone maybe like every 5 minutes because I had a fear that I'll get stopped again. And I had nothing linked to my telephone number, so I'm very, very particular about that. But even just the inconvenience of taking over your number and then calling your bank and getting it back is a lot of problems.
It's a hassle.
Yeah. So I got so much paranoid that actually I drove back and I said, okay, I need to start this company. But I built it exactly for myself, like, because I wanted to sell myself. And then I put it on WhatsApp and then people start like every customer we normally get is to referral. We don't run any paid advertisements. So so everyone comes to the website. They say, hey, I have a problem. If you ask on Twitter, I have this SIM problem, you will get like 5 to 10 people who will refer you to us. And that's pretty much our customer base. And that keeps us busy.
Okay. All right. Next question here from Timmy. Do you make my usage private?
Yeah. So your usage is all private. Like even I don't have access to it. Not employee, we don't have any access to it. Every usage is private.
Okay.
It's encrypted. No one have access to it.
Now, have there been any kind of audits in terms of security?
So not yet, but like we will be working on audits. No, not yet, because we are launching another feature recently. We're building like VPN on top of every phone. So rather than using a VPN on the app, you will have a VPN on the SIM card. But no, we have not done any external audits so far. But I can tell you that a lot of big security firms, CFOs and CEOs are using us product. Hoping to get some testimonial from them this month too.
Okay, so we have Mr. Virtue is saying, so threats work. And I think he's saying in reference to what you did to the courier about your life being on the line.
I don't know. Frankly, I don't know. Like maybe it was just case, but I knew that. Like, I was actually very scared. Frankly, like I'm not like joking. I was actually scared because think about it. Like I thought that someone would come to my house next in an hour or so. Right? I was actually scared, and I did tell them that, hey, if something happens to me, you're responsible. But it wasn't like something that I was just making up. I was actually thinking that this may happen. And because once this personal space has been violated, you're too scared, frankly. Sometimes people feel it, some people don't feel it. But I thought my personal space was violated. Someone got into something that I felt very, very secured. And that freaked me out. So I don't know if may threat, like I'm not saying this should be insurance policy, right? But certainly you have to take it very, very serious, and you have to make them understand that you will be responsible if this thing happens.
Okay. Now, in terms of insurance, are you able to share the provider who backs the insurance?
Yeah. We can provide. We can actually have insurance. So on the new website, we can have like a website on that too. It's tier one, but like I'll put it on the website. Like we are putting together a new website right now. Said like we actually grew much more than we thought. So we are just like looking at revamping our website to manage the loads properly and everything. But yeah, every information should be on our website hopefully by next week.
Okay, cool. And you can access that by going to our affiliate link to help support the channel, tokenmetrics.com/Efani. We have partnered with them. For anybody out there who's in the search for a new phone carrier, especially one that's crypto friendly, especially for anybody out there who has made lots of money in crypto, it's probably a good idea to improve your OPSEC. Okay, so here I have the site up on the screen. So the company is Efani, secure and private phone company. Yeah, secure and private cell phone service, helps protect against SIM hacking. Now I see here you actually won an award. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so we were right. So it's an award that happens every year. We won like the most secure telecom service for 2020.
Okay, I mean, I think you're definitely pioneering a brand new space, right? Because it's good because it's small enough that the big companies won't really go after it, because for them to really focus on the small crypto investors or people who need 11 layers of security to just transfer a phone number. Does not really scale with their business model of serving an entire country, for example.
Certainly, as I said, like all depends on like what exactly people are looking for, and ultimately, as I said, like why doesn't Rolls-Royce manufacture, like bulletproof cars? It's a different market.
Yeah.
So we just take the best. We said, hey, Rolls-Royce manufactures the best car. We just add our protection on top, so the person can enjoy Rolls-Royce plus protection.
Okay, all right. Well, it was a pleasure having you on the show, Haseeb. Any last words? Where can people learn more about you?
I think I said our website is the best thing. We are already open on Twitter. I'm not very good with marketing, but my username is Haseeb, Haseeb. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. If you say, and again, if you have any questions, you don't have to switch to our service. I can teach you how to secure yourself, right? You can be on your like regular plan, or I can just guide you on by staying on your unsecured phone, what you can still do. Like what's the best practices to
That's
do.
great.
Great. You can reach out to me, DM me, email me, and I'll share whatever I can.
All right, sounds good. And the link again is tokenmetrics.com/Efani to anybody out there who has interest in this. And then also just quick announcement. We have launched the Tokenmetrics forum. Apologies for the delay. We have fixed the email activation issue, so anybody can now go and sign up. We have had over 200 people sign up in about 16 hours or so. So wow. Thank you to everybody who has signed up. We want to create a forum and community discourse for anybody out there who's a crypto investor and trader. So if you want to talk about whether it's upcoming live streams, or for example, people here are talking about Cosmos versus Tezos. People are asking about Quant Network, BitDAO project, the Bitcoin halving. Let's go on the forum and start the conversation there. And we have a special award this month for anybody who's already seen the alert on Telegram. We're giving away free 1-year subscription to Tokenmetrics. That's 12 months. And we're giving away 3 different plans, 3 different tiers. So those tiers are on the 17th, we'll be giving away a basic plan for 12 months, which is worth $60. Then on the 24th, we'll be giving away a hodler plan, which is worth $240. Then on the 30th, for 12 months, we'll give away an investor plan, which is worth $600. And that goes to people who are actively engaged in posting on the forum. You have to have minimum 1 post and minimum 1 new topic. So if you would like to win a 1-year subscription to Tokenmetrics, be sure to participate by going to the forum, creating an account, and becoming engaged in the community. So thank you to everybody, and thank you all so much for the support. If you like this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and share with your friends, especially your friends in crypto, because this is something that anybody in crypto needs, right? So whether you already have a carrier or you're just curious about it, just learn about Efani and also learn about how to improve your security and protect yourself when it comes to getting hacked. And this is coming from somebody who got hacked and lost 2.5 million. I mean, so you definitely know this problem hits home to me. All right, so with that being said, thank you so much. Until next time, as we like to say, the moon is not the limit, to the moon and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you.
Since the creation of the internet, every industry has been turned upside down. Amazon changed retail. Uber changed transportation. YouTube changed video forever. With the invention of crypto, money is next. At the speed technology is growing, the future of money and securities are digital. 9 out of 10 millennials do not trust banks. The value of money relies on trust. Government debt is higher than it's ever been before. Central banks continue to print money. Fortunately, the world has a new solution. Experts predict in 7 years, 10% of the world's economy will be in crypto-based assets. Today, 1 billion people have access to the financial industry. Crypto is about empowering the other 6 billion people by banking the unbanked. Do not underestimate this. Do you wish you invested in Google, Amazon, or Netflix before anyone ever knew about them? $1,000 invested in Netflix turned to over $500,000. At Token Metrics, we help you find the next Netflix. Token Metrics users think differently about investing. They are early adopters looking for financial freedom. They are people who see a better world. A world without international borders. We believe in a world where everyone has access to the next financial revolution. At Token Metrics, we are creating a bridge that gets you to that revolution. We will help you make sound investments in this new world. The world's best investors do not rely on their intuition. They embrace technology and AI to invest. Token Metrics uses AI to find invisible patterns in data to help you invest and trade in crypto. In the past, we have used our data-driven system to achieve financial freedom. Now, we are giving you the keys. We created Token Metrics to be the only platform you'll ever need to make money in crypto. We give you AI and access to crypto experts at the best price.